What's up, YouTube? You know who back in the house, the boss, Taco Montana, with another one. Got a special person on the show today that's going to empower and inspire you as the youth, as we always do about this time. Welcome to the Taco Montana show, homeboy.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, can you tell the Taco Montana viewers what your name is?
My name is Frank Montgomery.
Okay, welcome to the show, Frank Montgomery. Today we're gonna get into why he's really here. So could you tell the Taco Montana viewers where you from, what elementary, what junior high, and what high schools you attended?
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I was born and raised in Washington, D.C.
What's up, DC?
I was born in Freedman's Hospital, which very soon after became Children's Hospital. I went to Slow Elementary, Tab Junior High, Coolidge High School, and finished up in McKinley Tech.
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah. Those are basically the schools that you attended when you graduated from high school.
Yeah, and then I grew up in Washington, D.C., between Brentwood and Montana.
Right. So the other thing we want to know, okay, during your process in school, because, you know, we want the youth to know so we inspire them and empower them. Mm-hmm. So you coming up in school, so did you have a few bumps, bruises, or hiccups in school?
Yeah, I had a lot of them.
Yeah, tell us about them, you know.
I did not like school at all. I felt that, honestly, that I wasn't smart enough when I found out later on that I just didn't apply myself. So I missed a lot of days in school. I was supposed to graduate high school in 1985. I didn't come out to 1990, but I did make it.
That's what's up.
Yep. Got caught up in these streets, man, and you know, thank God that he pulled me out quick enough so that I could, you know, go on to graduate. So I don't try to be hard on the youth today because we did some of the same things, you know. We didn't go to school, we cut class, did all kind of things, man. Was involved in a lot of street stuff, you know, and but thank God we was able to make it out, some of us. Not everybody make it.
Okay, so could you tell the people, you know, what community you grew up in? Because your community may have relationships to some of the people that you attended the school. So what was the community that you grew up in?
Yeah, so like I said, it was between Brentwood and Montana. I grew up on the 2300 block of 13th place, which I can actually see Brentwood from my house. It was that close. And we all know, or people that's from that area know, that Brentwood and Montana butted right next to each other. Those were the projects. And so, of course, grew up with a lot of the guys, hung out with a lot of them, you know. I knew a lot of those guys from there. So it was pretty rough, man. It was, like I said, pretty rough neighborhood. But some of us got through it, some of us didn't. Right. You know, but that was my upbringing. I loved it, man. I'm back in D.C. now, thank God. You know, I love my hometown. And Mom still actually lived there. She still has a house there. Pops, may his soul rest in peace, he passed away. But Mom still got the house and all.
Okay, so a word and a moment. Taco Montana. Look at this kid, look at him. 1863, 1804 is when Haiti got their independence. 1863 is when they established the IRS. So these clothes have historical value as well as style and fashion. You see what I'm doing as a ball? So during your growth period, you know, is there someone out there that inspired you to get you on the right path during that time that we want to acknowledge?
The Nation of Islam.
There we go.
Got to take my hat off to them. They actually came to visit the school one day and had a big influence on me. I loved the togetherness and how they stuck together and their knowledge, the cleanliness. So they got me in, cleaned me up for a while. And like I said, I went on to graduate, and even to this day, a lot of their teachings I still actually live by. Right. You know, it was the Nation of Islam that straightened me up.
Okay, that's what's up. So, you know, now you're getting straightened out. So you're on your path to your career. So tell them, where did that land you to where you are today, or is it quite a few places that you stopped before you got to where you are today.
So actually, I met my now today wife, and
Salute.
yes, shout out to my wife Denise.
Yes.
And she, you know, I mean, it takes a man to make a stand, but understand it takes a woman to make a stronger man. And she helped me out a lot, because without her, I probably would have still, look, it was just me, so I didn't have to care too much about me. But when you get somebody else involved, if you have a heart, you know, you got to do it for them as well. So I was like, I can't keep running around here slumming, man, and dragging her down. So she helped me pull myself up as well as pulling herself up as well. So she came up with this idea of being a plumber, and I was like, you know, plumber, man. But I said, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
You know, I said, I'll give it a shot, and I wind up becoming a plumber by trade.
Yes.
So that's when pretty much things started taking a turn for me, because I was making good money. There's good money in these trades out here, let me tell you. I mean,
absolutely.
Depending on the companies you work for, it is even more money, because you can do side work. Guess what? I don't have to pay nobody to do my plumbing. I can do my own plumbing.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, that started a career there.
Right.
Then later on, I turned over, just recently, the past few years, turned over to the security side.
Okay. Okay, that's
And
what's up.
there was a reason why I did that.
Okay.
So I'm a plumber by trade.
Yes.
But today's youth also had an impact on why I got into security. So shout out to my brothers and sisters, my young brothers and sisters, / sons and daughters, because they know how much I care for them and love them. And what started that journey was going into their schools as a plumber. They would come to me and ask questions. You know, they were like cats, man. They were real curious, and I was like, man, I would like to really get closer to these kids, but because of the sexual harassment allegations and all that, I had to kind of push them away, and I felt bad, so I started praying. You know, I was like, put me somewhere, man, where I can really communicate and talk to these kids and try to reach out to them, because they really want to know some things.
Right.
We have the impression that all these kids, they don't want to learn, they don't care. There's a lot of them that's crying out for help. So what we also have to look at, the era we grew up in is much different from today's era. So we have to find out where these behaviors are coming from and why the kids act the way they act, but you got to give them a chance. Let them come to you, don't push them away. You know, you got to make them feel comfortable, and they will reach out to you.
Right.
So God put me in security, and because I saw how the securities in the school could interact with the kids.
Right.
So he put me in that position, and I was like, now I can put them to the side, you know, and answer their questions and guide them and lead them. Also, it puts me in a position where I can build relationships with these kids. You know, they come out, they was like, man, how long you been in security, or are you doing security? I'm like, no, I've been doing this for a while now, and they start getting comfortable. And I also let them know, if you're not comfortable talking to me, I can send you to an administrator, a counselor, you know, somebody, another teacher, anybody you feel comfortable with, because I understand some of the situations that these youth are in today.
Right.
It's hard to talk, man. It really is. Whether it's a sexual preference, or I'm being abused at home, mentally, physically, it's a lot. I'm homeless. It's hard for them to come out. So you have to make them comfortable with you so you can guide them. And what I try to also teach them is that some of us been through some of the stuff y'all going through. Come listen to us, man. I think some of the youth think like we used to think, oh, y'all old, y'all don't know nothing, y'all back in the 80s and 90s now, man. I said, trust me, you looking at knowledge here, man, with our age and things like that. So yeah, security has really helped me reach out to a lot of these kids. I've helped some, you know, straight off.
Yes.
And they do their own thing, which, I mean, some of us did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, you know, you got to learn by experience, and that's okay too. But I just pray that, you know, they get on the right path and do something with their life.
Okay. If you're just coming in the building, please, if you're new, hit the subscribe. If you're already a family, hit the like and share. And also, I want y'all to get at Tariq Nasheed. This 1804 matches his movie. Yeah, man. when they got their independence in Haiti. So you say you grew up over in the Brentwood, Montana area, you know. So did you ever get a chance to meet Taco? And if not, when did you meet him and tell them how did that come about?
Very weird. It's just funny how we basically lived in the same, grew up and lived in the same neighborhood.
Right.
Could have crossed paths and didn't know it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was dating a girl. Well, I could say I was going for a girl right in the man's building. Bumped into him years later. I know so-and-so. I know them people too. Right. But did you know so-and-so? Man, I know so-and-so. That's my cousin. And find out we knew all of the same. How we never met.
Right.
It was very weird until later on. We grew up in the time of Kresge's.
Right.
Soul Palace.
Right.
Scoops.
Wow.
The fire department. Highs. Junior Hot Shop. All of this stuff was around and just never crossed paths. Could have been Roy Rogers. Who was that on the court? Was it Bojangles came later on? That was where the Kresge's was at.
But remember the churches that was further down.
Churches, yeah.
On Rhode Island Avenue.
Then the funny thing is we could have been staring in each other's face and just never said nothing. Speaking on that, I had a guy that actually grew up across the street from me and we knew the same people and never crossed paths until later on. I was like, man, what was up with that? So I really think we probably saw each other, but just never communicated or spoke or anything out. Just, again, don't know how that happened. And we know the same people. Went to school with them and everything.
Yeah, some of those people who like Shosky,
went to school with hung around with some of the Hucks brothers, David Hucks.
Salute Hucks.
Yeah, Keith and Kevin Reed, Gino Dudley.
Gino.
Terrence Dudley, Sherm Reed.
Yeah.
Who else? JJ.
Right.
I've heard names,
right,
but couldn't put it to the faces.
Right.
The Branch, Sean Branch. Heard your name a lot. Like, who? And again, I seen you one night.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Taco, but it was dark and you was like across the street. And I was like, so that's Taco. All right, man. Well, I said, me and Shosky was hanging out doing our thing. I said, that's Taco who they be talking about all the time. I heard the name a lot.
Right.
With Glenn Lewis, these were Brentwood folks. Glenn Lewis, David Brown, a couple of them guys. Yeah, a lot of them, man. And again, we went to school together and everything. Hung out. Some of them came over. Matter of fact, Antonio Bullock. Antonio Bullock. Black. Junie. A lot of these guys. Man, matter of fact, basically you had Brentwood, Montana, the Plaza, 12th Street, and all of us, it's all the same. Edgewood was all pretty much the same. Growing up in those areas. My wife, just briefly, she grew up in Leroy Park, which was right straight down the street on North Capitol Street. Right. She grew up on 1st Street Northwest.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Man, so and then when you came out with all of your stuff, the clothing line and the books and all that stuff, that's when we really hit it off.
Yes.
And that's when we come into power with each other,
Right.
And that was a weird thing, man.
But like I said, it just goes to show as the men that are in the village, we need to be more in tune with each other and get to know each other as opposed to having biases or envy or jealousy. So, but we were able to overcome it. I mean, like you said, the timing, we probably didn't have it there.
Right.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
So, another thing I want to know is, it's a topic that's going on out here, and I just want to get your little input on it. And this is all alleged, on this big youth situation that's over in Cali. So what do you think about that? Because we got the youth who are looking up to us as the OGs and the triple OGs. So what do you have to say about that?
I honestly just heard about this. Funny you say that or bring that up. I just heard about this yesterday.
Right.
I can't keep up with today's rappers and all these guys, man. I said, who the heck is Big U? I was like, what? And but what I did compare the rappers of our time to the rappers of today.
Right.
Very few of our rappers got killed. But these rappers today, I mean, they getting laid down left and right. I don't understand what's going on and why, it's the murder rate in the rap industry these days are so high. You know, but a lot of these kids come to me and ask me about these guys. So I've never even heard of them.
Right.
I can't even understand what they were saying in their music. And then our parents said the same thing about our rap music. It's a bunch of noise. I said, well, it ain't noise to us, it's music. So, you know, there's a difference from today versus yesterday. You know, so I can't speak much on it because I don't know much about it.
Yeah. So some of the things that was in there, you know, that I want to point out is like, by us being inspiring and impressionable to the youth, it's like he wasn't a rapper, but he was someone who was in the street gang culture.
Okay.
But you know, he got grants for the children, and allegedly he misappropriated the funds. So that's one of the things that really threw me off, and I didn't appreciate, because all the time I noticed that the kids always lose. It's the OGs who always get the money, and they put the kids up there to get this grant money, but the kids always lose. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I, you know, wanted to talk about it, you know, to get your little input on it, because as us being the role models, you know, I don't think that's a stance that we should take. So how you feel about, you know, that part right there?
Well, the kids, evidently, I mean, somebody got to come up to try to lead them the right way so they don't have to go down that road.
Right.
And it, like you said, it would take the OGs, but you need guys you can trust. I mean,
there we go.
Unfortunately, it's hard trusting almost anybody these days, man. You think you think you got people that you rocking with and rolling with, and come to find out they done stabbed you in the back and threw you under the bus, man. It's just wild out here. I mean, as far as trades is right now, I don't know if this is based off of what you just said, but trades, man, I just tell these kids, don't let people discourage you from doing what you want to do.
Right.
But make sure you look into the history of what you want to do, follow it, even if you don't think that you're going to succeed in it, you know, follow it. And even with me, I missed out on a lot of succession because my own mind was telling me, man, you ain't gonna be able to do that. I wanted to go in the Air Force, and I felt I wasn't smart enough. Wow. It was like, man, I wanted to fly them jets so bad, man, even to this day, because we get the military to come up to the schools to try to, you know, draft, recruit, and introduce military things to the kids. And I tell them, I said, you know, they had to tell me in my older age, they was like, you could have flew them planes. You didn't have to be that smart to fly them planes. I was like, well, I didn't know back then, man. You know, I didn't know, so I blew it. So I'm just saying, if you want to do something, go for it, man. You know, but you got to put y'all into it, do some research on it, look into the history. We got to look into histories of everything that we want to do, because nothing is new under the sun. Everything is just repeating itself. Talk to somebody who's been through it. That's your history. And that would come from, you know, your seniors and all, you know, your older guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get back into the, in the continuation of the youth, and that is, you're up at the school, you know, you're a security guard, you know, went to your careers. So tell us how, you know, you are involved with the youth, and also when they're in when you have to do conflict resolution, because, you know, it's heated, and also how's your relationship with the teachers versus the staff and all like that? Yeah,
so again, with these kids, you want to get them comfortable. So when they do get into these conflicts with each other, well, because we get into physical altercations with the kid. We have to break it up. Right. So we want them to be comfortable enough that when we say, hey guys, we get in the middle of them, we try to break it up, we got to get them separated. You know, we find out what started it, and we sit down and talk to them and say, guys, y'all got to learn to sit down and talk things out. Most of the stuff, because of what people said, I'm going to tell you what's really tearing these guys apart: social media. Wow. I'm like, you guys been friends since elementary school, and y'all get on these TikToks, and y'all don't do Facebook no more. Whatever these social media platforms y'all get on, and somebody will say something, and you misinterpret it, now y'all beefing, and it's crazy. And they have gone crazy over these, you know, these TikTok videos and all of that, and that's where a lot of the stuff stemmed from. And I was like, okay, so again, what we try to do, if there's a physical altercation, we try to get the parents involved as well. We bring them in, sit down, do the conflict resolution, try to get them back together and all. Like, y'all got to squash this because we can't have this, this madness going on in the schools. It's just, we're here to learn, not to fight, hate each other and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes what I also try to do is tell them how we grew up, and the things that we were doing, and let them know that if it was cool, we would still be doing it, but you don't see us doing these things anymore.
Right.
So, again, listen to us, see which routes we took, and, try to go that route to, resolve y'all issues and things. But please stay away from the social media. It is destroying our kids. Parents, if y'all watching this, y'all got to get involved, man. You got to get more involved.
Yes.
We try to call parents, they don't answer the phone. Leave a message, they don't return the calls. They agree to come up to the meetings, they don't show up. They don't come up there and check on these kids, man. And I mean, a lot of them are failing left and right. Straight E's, man. I got a few that's straight A and B students, and what I usually try to do, if they can show me a straight A and B report card, you get lunch, you might get $20. It depends on what my pockets is like at the time, to show them, keep up the good work. You will be rewarded some kind of way. A lot of them have the mindset of, well, I'm not getting paid. I'm like, you are getting paid, but what am I getting paid? You're getting a grade. That's a start. You got to crawl before you walk. It's some of my lessons. Yeah. Also, what I do is I go into classrooms. I go in the classroom for a number of reasons. I go in there, build relationships with the students, compliment them. Hey guys, y'all in class, y'all doing good, man. Nice work you doing, man. I couldn't even do that when I was in school, but you doing it. So I'm like, keep it up. I'm also, my other reason, I'm learning. I listen to the teachers. I'm like, I done picked up on some things. I'm like, no, when I was in school, how come I couldn't pick? I didn't apply myself. You know what I'm saying? But we need the kids to try to apply themselves more in school to be more productive and produce out here in the world. I understand a lot of babies are having babies. A baby cannot raise an adult. You just can't. You don't know anything yourself. So, but that's part of what we go through and what today has become, So again, we have to try to guide them as the adults. And like I said, show them the BS versus, the positive things, like that.
Right.
Hopefully they'll pick up on. I tell them, man, y'all can either take it or leave it. At the end of the day, you all have to make these decisions. You are in high school now. You're becoming young adults. It's time to start thinking. I don't want you to grow up overnight. I'm not trying to take your childhood from you, but we got to start thinking too. What do you want to do when you graduate high school? When these doors close behind you, it's you versus this. This is a big world, though. We say it's a small world. It's a lot going on out there. A lot.
Right. Okay. So you tapped into something, and my next question comes off of that when you say parents and social media. So do you think maybe it's a lot on the parents? I know we want to blame certain things, and to fully blame social media, go back to the time and the era that we were in when we were out there wilding and not doing it right. And so many of us went to prison for 20 and 30 years, so there was abandonment of the children. So don't you think that had a major impact on it? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, and it could have, because again, today, I'm gonna bring it back to today.
Right.
Pay more attention to what your kids are doing, because I'm noticing a lot of social media is raising the kids.
Exactly.
And it could be what happened to us too, is when we were growing up, the streets was raising us. I had to take it back to myself and my experience. I had my mom and dad to death did them part. I had a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and food in my stomach. I turned to the streets because my friends was doing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they didn't force me. It's just like, I was like, man, I could be making some of that money and get what I want. My parents got what they claimed that all they can afford to get, and I was like, that was pretty cool, but
I need more.
I need more. Y'all wanted me to get the $80 sneakers. I want them $300 sneakers too, man. So I was like, I said, since y'all can't do it, no problem. I said, I'll go out and figure it out. So I turned to the streets. We had let me get into it now. We had a lot of guys that was hustling, that was getting locked up, that was getting strung out. And actually back then, we more so had our parents back then versus what they had today. A lot of our fathers are locked up, a lot of them are getting killed. So this is what I'm saying. That's why you got to tap into the behaviors and why the kids are acting the way they're acting. Get them comfortable with you, find out what's going on in the household, and then you got to start trying to guide them from there.
Right.
Sometimes in the schools, we have to become the parents. We pretty much have them more than the parents do. They're in school all day long.
Right.
I've also learned school is their place of physical association with each other. I ask them every Friday, I'm always, man, where y'all going this weekend? Where the party at?
Right.
We don't go to parties no more. Okay, but what movies you go to? We don't go to the movies no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do y'all do? Stay in the house? Yeah. I'm like, social media. I was like, these kids are weak, man. We just had a kid dislocated his knee because he tried to kick a ball from under another student. And I'm just like, it's because y'all don't get out and exercise as much as y'all, as much as we did. We walked everywhere. We caught buses. We was all over the neighborhood we weren't supposed to be.
Right.
We was being hard-headed. We was all over the place. We went out. We played football in the streets. We played basketball on the court.
Right.
Man, we was playing what we call suicide football. We hit each other with no equipment on, man, down at Norris Elementary School on that little playground. Out the street, man, on the sidewalk. I broke my leg on the street playing football, slipped on some mic, cut class 3 days in a row, cut school, not class, cut school 3 days in a row, wound up getting hurt. But yeah, so that is kind of the difference of us growing up. Again, a lot of us had our parents back then. A lot today we don't.
Right.
And I'll go to say, I had 2 students in my first school when I first got into security. I was in an alternatives program, and 2 of my students went on to graduate, but one recently, they were hanging out together. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know the details. I'm not even gonna get in the weeds of it, but I will say they were shot up. One didn't make it, the other one was in critical condition, 19 years old.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, you all graduated just to go out here and get killed? You finished school, man. It was time to go on, But they got caught up out there in the streets, brother.
Right, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's why, we're doing these videos to empower and inspire you, because I understand that a lot of their dads wasn't there, they were in prison, and some of their moms might have been on drugs. So since this is a social media thing, that's why we're putting it on the social media, so they at least can have something positive to go and look at as us older adults who have done the right thing in life, who are in careers, jobs, entrepreneurs, who are doing the right thing. So that's what my videos are basically about, to inspire those people, and I appreciate you coming on, and everybody that has come on to Taco Montana TV to give our, time and energy to the youth. So another thing I wanted to talk about, because as I've always told people that, I don't just inspire, I also give up good information.
Yeah.
I don't need you to give the amounts. I don't need you to say certain things, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But tell them that I give you financial advice and what happened with the financial advice. Yeah.
He and along with a couple others gave me some good financial advice, which I've also passed on to you youths, guys. I got some of them into it too.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Shouts out to you. Y'all gonna be millionaires. Keep it up.
And here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna take it back again to growing up, then I'm gonna bring it back up to date. I'm gonna tell y'all now, the streets ain't gonna cut it.
No.
Drug dealing, whatever y'all doing to get money in the streets, it's setting you up to really fail. If you make it out, good for you. A couple of us have made it out. I'm gonna tell you real quick. This is what it's gonna lead to. It's gonna lead to you either being locked up, strung out, dead, or you might be lucky enough to make it out. Females, prostitution. That's not the life you want to live. So, what I'm trying to teach you guys now, listen to what the rich people tell you. They tell you how to make money up. They're giving you the keys, but you got to take these keys and use them. Invest your money where you can make money, man. You can't, even if you get a legit job, that's cool. I'm cool with that, but you can't just spend up your money. and then turn around, oh, I'm broke. And what I mean by that, I don't even know what today's trends are, so I'm gonna give you some of our trends.
Right.
Jordans. What kind of money are you gonna make back off of buying Jordans? You don't put all that money in his pocket, and then you mad talking about you ain't got no money.
Right.
Put money out where you can bring back money. Okay? Let's go to the job field. Trades. Again, I'm a plumber by trade. You got plumbers, electricians, carpenters, concrete polishers, dental assistants. Women can do hair, and a lot of these trades that I'm telling y'all, you can do on the side and make even more money. You can start your own business. You ain't got to work for nobody.
Right.
But yeah,
I want to get it back tight into the investment and what was the investment. Yeah, what was the name of, what was the investment that the people told you? They want to hear the name so they'll be able to go out and invest in it. So,
Bitcoin is one.
Yes.
Very easy. Y'all love these phones. You can do it right from your phone. And I've had quite a few of my students to do it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The newest one that I'm in, now watch where I'm gonna go with this. The newest one I'm in is Charles Schwab.
I'm with that too. I'm with that too.
Hey, Charles Schwab, you putting in money, but you watching your money grow. You making money off of it.
Right.
My downfall was I'm 57 years old. I'm just getting into it, and I'm looking at the kind of money I have now. Imagine, and I showed you all pictures. I even show them my account. I don't show them the personal information, but I show them what kind of money I had. Imagine coming out at 17, 18 years old and you start investing 20 years from now. Trust me.
Millionaires, like we said.
Millionaires.
Yes.
Millionaires. Listen to what we trying to tell you and follow it.
This is free game.
Free game. We giving y'all free game, but you gotta take it and use it.
Yes.
You gotta take it and use it. And invest. I've been hearing it for years, but wasn't smart enough to sit there and do it. I didn't take the advice either.
Right.
But now that I'm taking it, it works.
Right.
It works, man. Investing. Some companies you might invest in, you might lose money. Then get away from that company.
Right.
Listen to people who knows what companies to invest in. Start out small to grow big. You'll see people out here with Lamborghinis and nice houses and all that. You're not gonna jump right into that.
No.
They didn't jump right into that unless it was generational wealth, which a lot of us don't have. But you can start the generational wealth yourself.
Exactly.
Again, start out small, grow big, man. Get into the companies that they're into. Well, they got a car, why can't I get one? Trust me, it's a process. You gotta trust that process. I love what the man that told me. Again, he told me free game and I took it and used it, and it's working for me. It can work for you guys too. Don't cost you nothing.
I give up the game because I want to inspire our people. I do it out of love.
Exactly.
So I want to see them win and have generational wealth.
Right.
So, Frank, I appreciate you coming on the show, and the youth. I hope you've been inspired about this. The brothers giving you game and knowledge. So, Frank, always just before I end the show, I would like for you to say something heartfelt to the youth to inspire them so that they'll do the right thing like Spike Lee.
Yeah, let me say this. I love y'all. The ones who know me knows that I treat you all like my sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, man. And we just want y'all to succeed, and you can do it. You can do it. You just gotta, get your mind out the gutter, as we like to say, and push toward the stars, man. Y'all can make it. I don't care how much you struggle. I done seen guys come from the very bottom. I done seen guys come from homelessness. I mean, raggedy looking, smelling, just struggling. They successful people today.
Right.
They successful people today.
It's never too late. You always have a chance. So, Frank, a youth out there, I like your message. I've seen what you're saying. I want to just chop it up with you. So, can they contact you through social media?
To a point, yeah. Being in the school system, again, they don't really like us passing out personal information and things like that. I'd be wanting to. I would love to put them in my personal truck, take them to lunch, but because of policy, it's against school policy.
Okay, so wow, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's and I understand because it's a mixed bag thing. You got people who won't do the right things with the kids. So I understand the policy, but at the same time, it's a hindrance to the youth because it's good people who want to be good and give them good. So I understand it, you know what I'm saying? And we need to follow that guideline because some of us will jump over that, you know, so it's okay.
And let me just say this. We've had situations where adults try to interact with the students outside the school, social media, and the students turned on them. They started accusing them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, man, I can't lose my job over, you know, trying to help somebody. I do it in the schools. If I'm in the street and I run into them in the streets, I can do some things, you know what I'm saying? And they know that because I've done it. So just, if y'all seeing this, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Because there's some things that I'm not saying that I may have forgotten to say or anything, or that somebody else can bring to the table and help you guys as well if I can.
Right.
Again, subscribe to the channel, like it, and you know, if y'all see me in the streets or anything, man, don't be afraid to come up to me. I know sometimes I put on a certain look on my face. It's like, oh, he meant. No, because some of the kids have told me that. He's like, we were scared of you. I'm like, why? I never harmed you all. Facial expression,
solid.
Body language and all of that kind of stuff. But I can come like this and be like, no, I'm the good guy. I'm the good one. You know, and I have to have done that sometimes. So do come to me with any questions, any kind of situation. And if it's not nothing that I can help you with, I'll try to guide you to the right people.
Yes, yes. And I would like to thank and appreciate Frank for coming on the show to give you this gold information. Also, I want to thank his wife for doing my shirts. You know, I really appreciate that, and I want her to know. And I also want to send a shout out to a lot of people who I love. Mainly, it's a friend of mine's I lost. Clay Connor, you know, rest in peace, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you at the crossroad. You know what I'm saying? But also over on that side, Congo Kermit, Ted, Lil Dave, Marquise, Reggie, Tiny Woo, and a lot of the other side of Northeast homeboys. Love y'all, and as always, the Taco Montana Show. How you love that?
Peace.
What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy, Taco Montana, back in the building once again. I want all y'all to go out there and pick up a copy of the Taco Montana Clandestine Hustler by shopping Amazon. And to all the new people that's seeing this, hey, subscribe to Taco Montana TV. You heard? And also pick up this gig, this merch here at Taco Montana TV.